Thank you. Hi, everyone. So actually, we have my presentation. I don't know what will be tomorrow with this gig economy, but in our today, we still have big companies with lots of people employed, and people somehow interact with each other. And inside of EPAM, we try to make it as much effective, as much beneficial for all parties as possible. So that's why today my topic will be dedicated to the power of internal BA communities inside of EPAM and how they build connections. So I should use clicker, I forgot. Yeah, and here we go. A couple of words about myself to explain why I'm talking about communities. With EPAM, I'm almost for 4 years to the moment, and 2.5 of them I'm leading and building BA community, one of the big number of communities inside. And also I actively participate in communities and events, as you can see today. So I would like to share my own experience, and here the agenda will be, we will cover 3 parts. First one is what are the communities, the second, why they matter, and the last but not the least, how to build and sustain them for those who probably would like to have something similar as we have in EPAM today. But actually, I wanted to start with a story. Here in the picture, you can see the forest, and every one of us have actually been to forests, and you know how it feels. Like you stand in the middle, surrounded by huge, strong, standalone trees, and they seems to be very, very strong, some of them, especially the old ones, yes. And you think that every tree, it's separated, and some trees compete with others for resources. But actually, this is the truth. What happens underneath? What happens under the surface? There is a theory of wood wide web, which explains in the following way that actually trees are connected, and they connected by fungals and such known as mycorrhizal connections. Yeah, I didn't forget it. Okay, great. And what is the idea here? That using the fungals, they can transfer some substances and even information one to each other. For example, we have some tree which is located in some sunny area and has a lot of nutrition and sugars. It can transfer it to the other tree in the shade. Or we have a tree that struggles from some disease or from insects. It can transfer the information about it to the other trees and make them more prepared to this danger to increase their defense. Actually, I'm not a biologist and cannot be sure that it's 100% fact, but at least there is a theory. And I wanted to compare it with how it looks for BAs, because as you know, usually on the projects, especially not big ones, it can be just one BA, for example, and standalone, and it's expected to know all the answers, to solve problems, to provide solutions. And this is just one human. Even for big projects where we have the teams of BAs, usually they work on different streams. They solve different issues or challenges. They communicate with different stakeholders, so they still isolated. But as far as we are a big company and we have lots of business analysts, we can have the connections. We can help each other. We can help to know more, to share the information, to share what trends and challenges we face, because we have pretty different experience. I mean, I can work, for example, on one project for a couple of years. Yes, we have new technologies, we follow trends, we have market challenges which are up to date, but they are really different from what my colleagues see on other projects in different domains. And having the community, having this network, I have possibility to know more about what happens to them, and it helped me grow. It helped me to be competitive. For example, when I pass the interview to the new project in a different domain, I may be more prepared, more equipped. It's just one of the examples how it may be used. And let's move further. So actually, what are the communities inside of the company? We solve different problems and have different goals, but if I need like to list the main ones, I would mention that the first one is to have this knowledge sharing platform, because yeah, the most important thing probably that we collect with the times knowledge, not only like coming from the classic theory, but also from our individual experience, from the setups that we like face and how we overcome something, how we find the best ways to achieve the goals, or probably even about what didn't work. It's also very useful information. The other thing is like community is center for skill development. Like we have different formats of how we communicate. For example, today we have this offline gathering and also online gathering. So this is hybrid model for the communities in EPAM, for internal ones, like they also can be offline or online. It depends on what is actually what brings people together. For example, we have wonderful BA community of Georgia, and people here have this wonderful opportunity to hang together offline because they are on the same location. And it's not only for skills development for them, it's also for just engagement, actually. It's also mentioned on this slide. And they can, for example, just have time together, eat pizza together, or attend the yoga class. And it makes them not only like colleagues sharing knowledge and experience, but also friends. It like gives this opportunity to have the feeling of belonging to something bigger than just you're just one BA and one project and that's it. But moving back to skills development and the formats, we can conduct events that are really dedicated to development of some particular skills. For example, AI, as we have topics today, other tech skills, soft skills, like anything. It may be kind of tech talk, BA panel discussion, like any format that can be useful for the particular topic. And also the last here, but actually not the only thing that can be conducted in the communities. Its community can be a support system. In the community, you can find a mentor. We can also conduct some events related to just sharing experience with people who have like less seniority than we have. Probably they didn't have such opportunity to face something in practice, but yet we still can share it, because for some people who, for example, like there are many years and in the industry, and they think that some things are obvious, probably for them, not for newcomers. So it's also very valuable, even if it's something related to well-known theory or business analysis. So move further. And why it's matter, actually, when we try to achieve the goals I listed and some similar things, like we build pillars. One of them is overcoming isolation, because we just know more one person and the world against the world, but we are together. We make each other stronger. We know more. We are more up to date, and this helps like inside of the project and also in the career journey for the business analysts. The second pillar is empowering skill development and growth. Actually, career growth as one of the examples. For example, I didn't tell about myself that currently I'm performing the role of product manager in EPAM, and I would say that communities like played their role here as well, because I transferred from business analysis, and before I understood if I really want to become a product manager or what I should I do to go here, or should I even go there, I tried to find as much information as possible. Definitely I can like Google, ask ChatGPT and so on, but it's not about personal experience, not about success story of real people. So I attended lot of community events, first of all, to answer the questions like what is the difference with the role I had before, what are the gaps in the skill, what should I, in the skill set, what should I do like to go there, what are the steps, what like success looks like, and how I should be prepared. So I gathered a lot of information from the real people who had a similar journey, and it helped a lot because I knew that this path, like it works. It's not just theoretical knowledge. It's proven by someone. It's proven by the network. And the next is strengthen collaboration and engagement. Because yes, when you understand that you belong to some communities, that you are not the only one, I believe to us, like people, it helps us to understand that yes, like I know why I'm here. I know with whom I would like to share the news. There are people who are happy to discuss something with me, and it helps to like have more satisfied of what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, and to have plans to continue doing it there. And as a roof, we have here higher job satisfaction and efficiency. Definitely, it's pretty difficult to measure, especially if we are talking about how communities affected this higher job satisfaction and efficiency. But considering everything that I told above, I guess we can have a couple of examples how it works. For example, we attend some event. We like collect information about some tips and tricks or about some tools that we don't use, but they may be useful for our project or to like be more efficient in achieving our goals. Even if we are not fully ready to start using them just after this event, but we already know about them. We already have examples of how it was used by other people, and it informs us. We may have, like, we may share it with our projects. We may dedicate some time to know about it more if we do believe that it's efficient. And this will lead to the increased efficiency and satisfaction, because it's always like pleasant, I guess, to know that you know how to solve something, and here we help each other. And moving further, so actually, for the previous slides, I tried to give you more context about why I believe that communities are effective for business analysts and that we should gather together in some formats and for some purposes. But this one is dedicated actually to how we can build and sustain communities, because I believe it also can be interesting and important if you would like to start your own. And here, this is a kind of framework. I guess it reminds you about business model canvas, because mostly points are taken from there. But there is also quite similar thing. It's called community canvas. You can even Google it. Actually, it has a bit different look, but it's also still about the same. The main idea is that if you would like to start community, you should understand that what you're solving, who needs it, and what you're gonna do. And this framework helps here. The second part is like to review it from time to time to understand if it's still up to date or something should be changed. But if we go deeper to the points, the first one is yes, it's for problem or opportunity, because every community has its own phase. It solves some problems, it addresses some opportunities and challenges that we face. And it's definitely important to understand what are you going to deal with, because it will actually define all the other parts of what you plan to do. And then having this problem or opportunity defined, we are moving to the target audience, like who are the people who may be interested in what you're gonna share or what you're gonna create, like kind of events, everything. And define your target audience, you should focus on your unique value proposition. Like, what do you propose if you have this problem or opportunity? what your community can do for the audience, like why they should attend, why they should participate, why it should be interesting for them. It's about value, and value brings us to solution, because answering this why and defining this value, we actually think about how we're gonna do this. And solution here, like if you're talking about communities, not some other kind of business model canvas, it will be about the formats, the types of events, probably some interesting insights about what can be done together to achieve the goals. And the next thing, it's about unfair advantage. Probably it may sound funny if you talk about communities, but actually it's still important to understand like what you can give. Because, for example, some communities can share their great expertise in something. Some just provide very comfortable formats. I know that we have communities that conduct quizzes for BABOK, that prepare to some certifications. So it's their unfair advantage. For example, my community will not solve this. We solve other issues, not even issues actually. We just address other problems and opportunities. In our community, we have, for example, cooler talks, which is actually interesting thing, because actually my community is for different locations, but we also have this necessity to network just to increase our collaboration, not to discuss only professional topics. So Cooler Talk is kind of a format which helps to address this, because we still define some topic, but this is informal gathering where we would like to share some stories, to share some questions and opinions on some topics that are highlighted, and also to collect tips and tricks and to understand like what works, what doesn't work based on real examples. And we do not record it because we would like to make it a safe space for people who attend, which allows us like to have pretty honest feedback. And also important thing is metrics, like how do you measure the activity of your community and understand if like it goes in right direction. The obvious ones, like you can measure the number of people who attend your events. You can measure how many people would like to conduct events, like based on the topics that you find important for the community. You can measure engagement by how many comments, posts, anything is created. Like it actually depends on the specifics of what you are doing, but I believe it's important to think about this measurement part, because if you try to sustain, probably some moment of time you will need to change something if you see that it's not the numbers that you expect. And cost structure. Yeah, communities have costs, especially if we talk about offline events, because even having like the paper and the pen, it also like it costs something. And we should think about what we have, how we can allocate it, and for what purpose we can allocate it. Because if we're talking about starting community inside of a company, probably it requires budget. And the last thing, but not the least actually, is channels. Because yes, like starting from the beginning, we try to identify the audience, to propose some value, to have the solution. But the audience should also know about you to make it possible to join, to engage them. And channels are very important as well. And actually, that's it for this slide. And here we have thanks part, and I have the questions for you, probably. Can anyone tell me what is the phenomenon or the principle of wisdom of crowds? Maybe provides example. Wisdom of crowds.
Anyone?
Wisdom. Okay, so let me answer. In this case, wisdom of crowds, actually it's a principle that tells that the group of people usually have better guesses on something than some particular like independent individual. There is an experiment about counting jelly beans in a jar. If you have just an individual trying to guess what is the number of jelly beans, actually they have opinions that vary a lot. And if we have a group of people who try to count jelly beans, not to count, actually count, but to guess what is the number of them, the answer of the group is, in average, always closer to the right answer than the guess of individual. Okay, so hopefully you're ready to the next question. There is also such principle as a network effect. And actually, if you heard something about it, it can be explained, like it explains why LinkedIn or GitHub are successful. Maybe you can explain what is network effect. Yeah, you have a hand.
Network outcome is more than sum of totals of its domains.
Yeah, actually, thank you so much. And if we talk about like products, digital products in our case, it works this way. So the more people contribute to something, the greater the outcome. And actually, it's very true for the communities because, yes, the more people are ready to share their expertise, the greater outcome, the more knowledge will have all the community. So, and actually the last question from my side is about theory of weak ties. Probably you have heard about it. Can anyone explain why the weak ties provide the greater opportunities than strong ties? Okay, so let me do it for you. What is actually strong ties in this case? Strong ties, it's our close circle of people that we interact with. For example, our friends, our relatives, colleagues from the same project. Actually, they share the same environment that we do. And actually, we have pretty similar opportunities. Usually, there are some exceptions, I guess. But if we talk about weak ties, it's about people that, for example, we can see just for the first time, as we hear today. Somebody definitely are weak ties here. And we belong to different environments, and we belong to different circles, and we can have different opportunities. It works even inside of the company. Like if we are internal community and you participate in some event as a speaker, for example, it allows other people to know about your existence, and maybe you share very valuable experience, like for their project, for example, about some AI tool or anything. And they know about you, they can contact you, they can discuss it with you, they can even like bring you some new opportunity from your career perspective. It works inside the company, it works outside the company, so it's always good to have more connections, even weak ones. And I guess pretty soon we will pass the floor to the UK, and we will have this amazing opportunity to like make our weak ties. So thank you. It was everything from my side. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions, or we'll go to the networking part? Yes, please.
Hello, and thank you so much for this presentation and the thoughts you shared. Very impressive. And my question is about the formats. You spoke a lot about the formats. Which of them you find the most efficient for people to start sharing information between, to start solving some problem and collaborate? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Let me address it from the different sides, because start sharing information may have different meaning. If it's about some first experience of sharing the information, like speaking on the events, probably the comfortable format will be to make it short, like do not expect from people some long presentations if they are not familiar to this like experience of presenting something. Like make it short, make it 10 or 15 minutes, just to give them opportunity to share. If your question was about how we should start addressing some like new challenge, like how we should discuss it to provide some options to solve it. Yes, in this case, it will be about bringing as wide perspective as possible. And in this case, brainstorming should work fine. I mean, you can think about some formats where you give people this freedom and ability to share like their ideas, the points they find important, and to have this feelings that like they are safe, their ideas are okay, and we collect it, and then we can try to go further to the from what to how, like how we solve it, and like what can be the next step. So format, you can name it different way. You can name it just simple brainstorm, or you can find your own shape of like form of how it gonna look like. But the main goal will still stay the same. You need make people talking as much as possible, because the first part, it's about collecting the wide perspective. Thank you for the question once again. So any
More
other
questions?
questions? Guess no. Everyone would like to
Like no,
network. Thank you so much for your attention.
So, once again, thank you very much for coming today to our event. Hopefully this will not be the last one, and this will continue. Many thanks to our great speakers. Please applause. And great speech. And moving further to London. Thank you.